Torrential rains caused flash floods that inundated homes and businesses, washed out bridges, and led to numerous water rescues in portions of West Virginia, authorities said. Governor Patrick Morrisey sent 100 National Guard members to the hardest-hit areas in the northern part of the state and declared a state of emergency for all 55 counties Tuesday night. An additional 200 National Guard members were expected to arrive by late Wednesday morning. State and local agencies will remain on the ground for as long as it takes to help affected communities, Morrisey said in a statement. Forecasters said up to 7 inches, 18 centimeters, of rain fell in some places. No deaths were immediately reported. The National Weather Service in Charleston warned of life-threatening flooding conditions in some communities Tuesday night, telling people to seek higher ground now. Bob Pfister said the power remained on at the hotel where he was staying in Weston, even though the first floor was inundated and most people planned to stay put until Wednesday morning. Right now, this option is much better than a shelter and a lifeboat, Pfister posted on Facebook. If the power goes out, that may change a whole lot. Video and photos on social media showed submerged vehicles in parking lots, including at a Walmart in Weston, where muddy water surged far into the store. Emergency crews reported dozens of rescues of people stuck in submerged vehicles. However, some rescuers were unable to get to locations where floodwaters had cut off access. Flash flood warnings in the state expired by Wednesday morning. Other warnings were issued for parts of neighboring Virginia. The heavy rains were part of wide-ranging storms that also produced reports of tornadoes stretching from the Cincinnati area across New Jersey to the New York City suburbs. Damage from a possible tornado was reported in the area of St. Mary's and Belmont in West Virginia. Emergency service communication channels were buzzing with activity late Tuesday night in Lewis and Upshur counties, which have about 40,000 residents combined. First responders were performing water rescues for hours Tuesday night into Wednesday, Lewis County Commissioner Agnes Quinn said. The devastation across our county is extensive, she said in a social media post. A sinkhole caused by the storm swallowed a vehicle at a bar Tuesday night in Fayetteville, in southern West Virginia. Morrisey urged residents to stay at home and said travel conditions remained hazardous Tuesday night. Floodwaters forced the closure of portions of Interstate 79, U.S. Route 48, and numerous secondary roads. The ground was already saturated after storms dumped more than 2 inches, 5 centimeters, of rain throughout the state on Saturday. Tuesday's storms occurred a decade after 23 people died after heavy rains fell for hours over the same areas. Data from a U.S. Geological Survey water gauge showed one creek tributary, Sand Run, rose to a record level near Buckhannon, topping the mark set during a November 1985 flood event that resulted in 47 deaths statewide. Meanwhile, Cooley, who lives in Harrison County, was in Weston to hopefully begin the cleanup of the church where he attends and a coffee shop the church runs. The watermark on the building is about 4 feet high, so the basement was completely submerged. Right now, in the basement of the coffee house, there is still 4 feet of water, he said. Other watermarks as high as 7 feet have been measured in other parts of Weston. Some residents had to spend the night in the upstairs of their homes after their first floors flooded. Cooley talked to one such couple. The water has receded out of their first floor. They can walk around in their house right now, but they still can't get out of their house because it's too deep outside, he said. Water rescues, which began Tuesday evening, are continuing this morning. Swift water rescue teams from many areas have traveled to Upshur County to assist. Power outages and communication issues are another challenge. Mon Power reported more than 22,000 customers without service in central West Virginia as of Wednesday morning. Residents in Upshur County who need emergency help are asked to call 304-613-2619 after the county's 911 service went down. The catastrophic flooding in central West Virginia has officially reached unprecedented levels Tuesday night. The Sand Run stream near Buckhannon has shattered its all-time record, surpassing the devastating watermark of 8.3 feet set during the infamous 1985 floods. According to official National Weather Service hydrograph data, The Sand Run stream gauge observed an astronomical crest of 10.63 feet on Tuesday evening. This reading pushes well past the stream's defined major flood stage of 10 feet. "I've never seen anything like this, and I've lived here for 37 years," Buckhannon Mayor Robbie Skinner told Metro News Tuesday night, noting the severity of the ongoing disaster as local tributaries continue surging. The mayor added, "The river is still rising. We're not done yet." The National Weather Service in Charleston has extended the flash flood warning for northern Upshur and northern Lewis counties until 1 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Radar and rain gauges indicate that between 3 and 5 inches of rain have fallen since Tuesday afternoon, inundating communities like Weston, Stonewall Jackson, Jane Lew, and Hodgesville. Major interstate travel is severely compromised, with life-threatening flooding reported on Interstate 79 between mile markers 90 and 106, as well as multiple stretches of U.S. Route 33. An observer for the National Weather Service reported 7 inches of rain for the day at 7:54 p.m. 2.6 miles south of Buckhannon. The same observer reported 4 inches of that total came in 75 minutes. Governor Patrick Morrisey put all 55 counties under a state of emergency by 11 p.m. Tuesday. Many West Virginians are helping communities deal with flooding, property damage, and dangerous conditions tonight, Morrisey said in a news release. State and local emergency officials are working to assist those affected, and this declaration ensures we can quickly deploy resources wherever help is needed. I urge every West Virginian to exercise an abundance of caution, stay off flooded roadways, monitor local forecasts, and follow the direction of emergency officials. Skinner said the flooding was caused by a flash flood that hit around 2 p.m., followed by heavier rain that began a little after 5 and continued for about 3 hours. We had a significant flash flood event, but also the river, Buckhannon River, was coming up because of the rainfall upstream, up toward Helvetia and Pickens, and of course it all has to come down. But the river came up because of this flash flood event, Skinner said. There was no flooding reported along Buckhannon's popular Main Street or the West Virginia Wesleyan campus, which both sit a little higher up than other parts of the city. So Wesleyan is fine. The proper part of our downtown is fine, but it's kind of everything in between. If it's low-lying, it's flooded, Skinner said. Buckhannon resident Joe Kinzer lives a block and a half from the Upshur County Courthouse. He said the community storm drains could not hold the water on Meadow Street. He said the second storm is what put things over the top. The sky started getting very, very dark. Lightning started occurring. I heard thunder. It was just really, really dark. And the sky just opened up from about 5:20 until about 8:30, he told Metro News. On the ground, the situation has devolved into a desperate fight for survival in the dark. Emergency radio traffic from Upshur County Fire and EMS paints a harrowing picture of a first response network pushed beyond its limits, with radio traffic at one point stating, "I don't know what to tell them at this point." Ongoing scanner traffic and field reports detail widespread destruction and life and death rescues across the region. Active water rescues are ongoing as victims are being pulled directly from the floodwaters, prompting urgent requests for additional ambulances to the scene. Deep water has flooded completely through the local Walmart. Meanwhile, a vehicle at the Huddle House is submerged up to its windows, with responders unsure if anyone is trapped inside. Another responder noted, "The water by the Huddle House. It's worse." Crews report having to cut people out of their attics, stating over the radio, "We were banging on the roof to see if we could hear them." Floodwaters are tearing apart the local geography. "The bridge is gone. It's washed out," one responder relayed. Another reported that a floating structure crashed into a bridge and was just destroyed, leaving crews unsure if anyone was inside the building. In some neighborhoods, the current is so violent that responders noted houses have floated into each other. West Virginia Governor Patrick Morrisey said in an update on Wednesday that there have been 85 rescues from West Virginia Division of Natural Resources workers. At this point, there have been no confirmed deaths or anyone unaccounted for, according to the governor. Morrissey also said 19 National Guard or West Virginia State Police helicopters are available for rescue missions. The governor issued a state of emergency late Tuesday night as a result of the storms. Lewis County Commissioner Agnes Queen said in a news release that a shelter has been set up at Lewis County High School for those who have been displaced. Residents are encouraged to stay off roads if possible and to use extreme caution if they do have to get out. Buckhannon Mayor Robbie Skinner said in a news release Wednesday morning that a shelter-in-place order remains in effect. Johnny Reed grabbed his young son and rushed out of his house in Buckhannon Tuesday evening as floodwaters rose. 1 minute after he dashed off his porch, a storage shed floated by. His home surveillance video showed. It was followed shortly after by a felled tree and an upright, all-terrain vehicle that looked as though it was driving itself, dragged along by the current. "I've never seen the water rise as fast as it did today," Reed said in a Tuesday post on Facebook, later telling CNN that his family was safe and the damage to his home was minor. A video from Buckhannon shot by Evan Bacorn showed a vehicle flooded up to its windows as a garbage container floated down the street. Some drivers tried to power their trucks through the flooding as water splashed over their running boards. In Jane Lou, the town park was overwhelmed by flooding from nearby Hackers Creek. Brown, murky water swallowed the base of street signs and submerged the park's baseball fields. A 5-block stretch of homes along the Buckhannon River was evacuated early Wednesday morning, while all other county residents were advised to shelter in place. Assessing the extent of the damage was made more difficult Wednesday by communications outages. Many cell phone carriers and internet providers are experiencing service interruptions, or no service at all, Skinner posted to Facebook. The state of emergency allows state agencies to coordinate resources and deploy personnel as needed. The governor's office said the hardest-hit areas included Lewis, Pleasants, and Upshur counties, where flooding and related damage have triggered ongoing emergency response efforts, including dozens of water rescues.